Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lech Musar podcast. We are on page 116 in the Art Scroll. We are on day 50 of Hachzik. So we're in the inyan of Achil v'Shtia, eating and drinking. Yesterday we discussed how a person has to be vigilant against eating too much. And the inyan we spoke about, it's not only about decreasing in the quantity of food, but in the quality of food. We spoke about what Rabbi Stark said, that you can even attach yourself to the segula, to the inyan, to the chashav madrega of kaparas avonis, and bringing a carbon even by abstaining even from something like salt or ketchup, something that's going to enhance, make the food more geschmack, but abstaining from that, decreasing in that, is also a tremendous madrega, and especially during Elul, where we were looking for kaparas avonis and to atone for all the achilas of the year. It's a opportunity, especially during Elul. And now we're going to talk about kashrus. Ksivis samta sakin beloy echa im bal nefesh ata. The pasuk in Mishlei says, and put a knife to your throat if you care for your soul. What does it mean? Mama oid tzarich lizar mikol nidon isra atole b'achila. It means that just how much a person must be wary of any slight chance of machalas asuras, of foods that are not 100% kosher. For what happens when a person partakes in machalas asuras is that the body itself has drawn klichis from iser, and as a result, that person's neshama, that person's soul, becomes guilty in its very essence, because now it's being fueled from davar iser. So it's the most heilige zach, the neshama, being fueled from iser. And what happens is, we know this idea of timtam alev, that if you eat non-kosher, you drink one drinks yayin nesach, or you drink non-kosher food, that even if a person does tshuva, but it has this supernatural way of taking down, of impurifying the neshama, because the neshama is the most holy thing, and it came in contact with the most unholy thing. And what happens is that it has such an effect that it'll have an effect on the neshama that it won't be able to be masig, to comprehend and to attach itself to Yiras Shamayim and to learning Torah and to fearing Hashem. And l'chein tzarich liyas zahir v'zaris v'lamed al shechetim, and therefore a person must be zealous to make sure that the shechita that one is eating from is Glat is the highest standard. That they should be knowledgeable, skilled, and obviously Yiras Shamayim. And he must educate the members of his household to check very well, to the best of their ability, all the foods, to avoid any isurim of consuming teloim, of worms and bugs and other forbidden foods. And a person must not eat any fruits in which worms commonly fester without first cutting them open and checking for these forbidden creatures. So you have strawberries, you have other foods that are highly infested, so you have to be very, very careful. It's not pasha. Lettuce with bugs. And the reason is because there's a real inyan of timtum alev, and it's not just an iser, it's poigeya in the nefesh, and it blocks, it makes an eclipse between the kedusha that wants to uplift us, that we want to attach ourselves to, and our ability to execute on that level. When there's timtum alev, there's a tremendous clash, there's a contradiction, and that has a very strong, deep effect. A person, especially in the summertime when there's a lot of bugs outside and there's insects, one must be very, very wary of fleas and gnats and mosquitoes and all other unnoticed potential insects and flies and things of this sort, because of this iser, this potential tumtum alev. A person must acquaint themselves and be quite proficient in the halachas of yayin nesach, and a person should distance himself 100 measures of heter so that he doesn't come to approach even one portion of iser. The few, a person who guards his mouth and tongue guards his soul from trouble. Now, the Pele continues in the proper manner towards those who prepare the food of which he partakes. How you should act towards the people who prepare your food, who do their due diligence in preparing the food and the drinks. Kahalacha. One must be very zahir, not to be overly stringent with his wife, his daughters, whoever it is that's preparing the meals. Even if his wife ruined his food, she oversalted it, she burnt it, and she didn't prepare it the way that he likes it. And he should not become upset, and he should never treat a mistake as purposeful or an unavoidable action as intentional. And he should never go angry with his wife or the servants or the other household members of his house. Why? For each man is judged by heaven according to his action. The pasuk over here is telling us that Eve never treated his servants with disrespect. He was always mechabed them, and we have to learn for ourselves. We have to learn from the midas over here that we see in Nach, that we as well have to treat with tremendous kavod those that prepare foods, and that's for many reasons. The food again is meant to fuel us and give us koiches to do mitzvahs and learn Torah. So there's a direct connection, a direct pipeline between the food we eat and the avodas Hashem that we do. So in turn, we have to make sure to be mechabed those that prepare the food with the proper kavod. Says the Pele Yoeitz, contemplate these matters and motivate yourself to change your ways. Much greater than the obligation that your wife and your servants have to show you and honor you is your obligation to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And therefore, just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not makbid on us, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a Rachum and he's a Chanun, even despite all our misdeeds, our missteps. So those that are helping us and enable us to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, all the more so, we have to do whatever we can to treat them with the proper kavod and thanks and gratitude, because ultimately they are enabling us to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu.